and welcome to We Are Live. Wink.
Somebody thinks the feed's frozen, for sure.
Don't move.
Oh.
Don't move. It's just like that scene on Speed where you don't want to know. Like Dennis Hopper's trying to just got the camera on the bus and we can't move because we're recording.
They're putting it on loop.
Yeah. And it tricked him. And that's how Keanu Reeves became John Wick.
Chris Emmett, Travis Reynolds, We Are Live. Oh, what's that behind me? Studio upgrade. Holler.
Woot, 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 woot.
Holler.
Yeah, I see it.
That's right. Spare no expense in Midcoast Studio. 17 bamboo trees had to die for this. 3 pandas gone hungry.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's not bad.
But we look good, though. You look good, man. I like that.
Yeah. What's going on, man?
Well, it's opening day.
Give action. On the show today, Cato Kalin joining at 9:30 a.m. in studio. He's in town for Wizard World. It's a Comic-Con type of event. He will discuss all things
Cato Kalin.
Cato Kalin. That should be interesting.
It's a broad.
It is.
Broad
He's a
thing.
fun, energetic guy. We'll do some fair or foul. No sentence of the week, and we'll tell you why.
Ooh, doctor.
And if you want to text in 314-669-1431, feel free to comment in the Facebook section as well for the live stream. Big thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thanks to Tech Electronics for making this wonderful studio possible. Thanks to Tech Electronics for the wonderful cameras in which we can say hello to Chris Gardner on. Hello, Chris Gardner.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Nice. Do it, 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 do it.
What are you doing?
Sorry.
Good morning, Walt.
Yeah! Woo! Woo!
Happy opening day.
Happy opening day.
Actually,
it's a
happy
holiday.
home opener. I
Yeah,
should say.
home opener. It's a holiday in St. Louis, and it was rained out yesterday. They wisely postponed it to today. Still pretty dreary out there, so wear your rain boots to get your drunk on, if
You
that's
have
what
rain
you do.
boots, Travis?
I do not have boots for the rain.
Boot shoes is what he would call
Oh.
Shoes. Don't confuse those with boat shoes.
them.
Okay.
Correct, right.
Two different things.
It is a city holiday, isn't it? This is
It
a
is,
day.
and it's nice that it's on a Friday
Yeah.
because now you won't have 17% of the St. Louis workforce receiving written warnings for being super hungover the next day.
Yeah,
Does it get
so-
uglier?
Yes. Oh, without question. Great for our friends at Southtown Pub. Maybe people down at the Midwestern are going to get rocking and rolling. Great for spirits and beverage sales, food sales as well. Not great
At
for
food restaurant.
at food restaurants.
Thank you.
Not
Difference.
great for the old-timey street sweeper guy Saturday morning at 7 a.m. He's, just cleaning up my St. Louis street with a push broom because there's going to be bodies in the street. And not normal, like your normal, like vagrant population sleeping on that. You're going to have your Chads, your Karens.
Yeah.
You have that half hanging out from a trash can, half laying in vomit. It's going to get ugly.
It's going to be like a warmer Mardi Gras because it's
yes.
going to be irrational. I think it landing or them wisely pushing it to today on a Friday. Most people check out early on Fridays anyway. In the city
try and have a meeting with anyone with the title of sales in their name after 10:30 a.m. on a Friday.
Very unlikely to happen, especially. So now you have a day where people are going to already take half the day off, and now you combine that with the Friday that rolls obviously into the weekend. Yeah, this is going to get kind of silly because the game was about 2 o'clock? Is the game 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
3:50.
3:50. Oh, sweet mercy. Oh,
That
man,
means
those
you-
some
that
long
means
ass
you settle
lunches.
in. That means you settle in. It's over at lunch. 11 a.m. It's over.
Yeah, I would imagine most people probably showed up to work maybe a little early today just so they can say to the
Yeah.
boss
They see
or
the
anyone
boss
like,
with
oh,
the cup of
I was
coffee."
here
Yeah.
at 6.
Right.
So, I technically put in like
Is
you
that
can
what you
still,
did?
Huh? Yeah,
that
well,
what
that's
you're
why
doing?
I showed up because that way I get my 8 hours in and
8
still
hours-
have
8
time to
hours
go
of
to the
sleep
game.
on the
Mhm.
studio couch?
No, I don't. When I'm on the couch laying down with my eyes closed, what I'm doing,
Is it part of your creative process?
thank you.
Right.
With your shoes off and
You're like, oh, I'm a
sure
good
there's a-
publicist.
two
If-
different socks on.
Yes, and if Travis was inexplicably had to cancel like tour dates, exhaustion.
Work, I think it's called workload or load management
Load
is the
management.
official term that
Yes.
LeBron James uses. So it's the way to manage.
So you're going to
Are
use
you? I'm sorry. What?
It's called
Just
load
because you
management.
weigh what LeBron weighs doesn't mean that you can
Hey.
pull off things like he does. Okay.
I don't know. I put in as much work as LeBron. So I
Load
feel
management.
like
Doesn't it sound like a trash truck company?
it does.
Load management.
Is
Certainly
it
ain't-
actually is it one?
I
Am
think there's waste management.
Okay, maybe
Yeah, that's what you have in mind.
Load management, really specific corporate part of the porn world.
Chris.
Well, it's a key part too.
Oh, come on.
It is. It is.
Jesus.
I mean, if you don't have
a
load
fusion
management, you
position.
don't have money shot.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I mean, those are
I'm happy with this
key
interaction.
components.
Yeah.
What are you going to tell me I'm wrong,
I'm not
Travis?
saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
Just
You can't.
was appropriate.
You got a problem with the truth?
You know what? You know I do.
TT has managed a load or 7 in his day. That's from Billy. It's early. It is early. Opening day. Oh boy.
Mid-season form.
Oh man, our listeners are that of.
Oh, doctor.
It's like Saturday night at the Apollo, my man.
Ain't no damn Saturday night at the Apollo. Get the hell.
Get ready. I'll hook your ass.
Oh, Jesus.
Da-da-da-da-da-dun. What do you think of that?
I think you guys have.
What do you,
lost
Gardner?
it.
Do you have plans to go eat a smoked sausage and
Nice.
despite Lou Ferrigno's warnings, are you going to lime scooter around the festivities? What's going on?
No, I probably won't head down there today.
Yeah.
First opening home. I keep saying opening day. First home opener I'll miss in a number of years.
Why are you missing today?
I've been declined a credential by the St. Louis Cardinals
Oh,
organization.
really?
I still think we need to walk down the street to our neighbors at KDHX and say that they need a Cardinals blog update once a week. I think that would get you credentialed.
They're telling me since I'm not in traditional media anymore.
As we were
even
so
though they
traditional
have some
prior.
people that aren't in traditional media. that
Ooh, are you going to snitch?
No, it's fine. That,
Okay.
Are credentialed. I have been declined a credential by the organization. My belief is that carte blanche is getting a little too real.
Oh,
for people.
boy. That's that's definitely it.
Heat.
There's
It's
no
like
doubt
there's like
about
ooh
it.
something warm over there.
But if they want to play this game, we can play it.
I
I don't mind. This
So-
is where I like to live.
This is
I don't
where
know
he
if
makes
they
his
know
money.
that.
They
Do you
don't
think
know.
that Getaway Golf Carts jumping on board as an official sponsor and proud member of the movement, do you think that kind of set a tone? It's kind of like whenever someone's problematic and one advertiser goes, I'm out.
Yeah.
It's the opposite here. They jumped in, and then, of course, that sets off a string of events where Cardinals management, they go, oh, Getaway's on board?
Wait, what's going on?
What's
here?
this?
This seems to be building momentum more than we had thought.
Peggy, get in here. We have to strategize.
Yeah.
What I don't understand, and I don't mean to take away from the movement, but there was.
But I'm going to take away from the movement.
No, it's actually.
Sounds that
but
way.
but it moves. It actually is to underscore the importance of this movement because this movement continues to gain steam no matter what medium it is on. So whether it's radio or podcasting, it seems to continue to grow. So to suggest that traditional media is necessary in order for you to get credentialed, it's silly because the carte blanche movement continues to expand beyond that.
Yeah.
Not only that, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Bigger than that. It's bigger than the card.
It really is. But in the case of
It's
you,
bigger than all of us.
This is not a team-specific thing.
No, it
I
is
would
not.
want this team to be involved. I want
Absolutely.
the Cardinals to be involved, but it's not just them.
So that's what ultimately has to happen. Your play is to try to get the Cardinals involved. However, what we've learned about St. Louis and the St. Louis Cardinals, the only way they will do anything is if 5 other people have already done it. So you need to get other teams within the division involved. Then that way the Cardinals are like, oh, God, we got a guy out of St. Louis
You
that
said
has
Cardinals. You said Cardinals.
I said
And
Cardinals.
like that.
I
And
did.
got my Cardinals
You
shirt
do.
on today.
Yes, you do. You look great, by the way. Do you have a screenshot of it?
I think I do. Hold on
Oh,
one
okay.
second here.
But-
Available at Buy Jack,
Oh,
the
yes.
We Are Live team store. Does that work for you
I
guys?
don't think that's what it is. I
You'll have
don't
to give
think
me
that's how
just
that works.
one moment. I
But
gotta
even to
find
your
it.
point, as you look that up, but it's fascinating to hear them say, and look, we respect their decision. They have their reasons. They're the St. Louis Cardinals. They can credential whomever they like. However, they use the term traditional media when the St. Louis Cardinals themselves don't use traditional media. St. Louis Cardinals are happy to use Facebook. They're happy to use social media. They're happy to use
Broadcast
Twitter.
games on
they
Facebook.
broadcast. So it's interesting to hear the term traditional media when you have shown over the last 5 years, like everyone else in all of professional sports, that you're willing to try non-traditional media in order to grow your brand.
Ooh,
so
Trev,
it's silly
coming
to
with
me.
it.
So it's kind of
I got an email that basically said, well, anyone could have a podcast.
which is true. However,
Anyone can hit a baseball too. There are levels.
But there are levels. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Very
I was
nuanced
like,
point.
yeah, but does any podcast have someone that uses QuickBooks too to run their business?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I think that should mean something because I don't even know what I'm talking about right now, but it seems important.
But even when you have, like, look at I think it's a case-by-case situation, which you would normally do with credentials anyway. If you have a guy like Mr. Gardner, who has been involved in almost every major radio station in this town for multiple years, who has means and resources, like we were talking about last Friday. When
Do most podcasts have salaried employees? Okay.
Well, not only that,
This one doesn't either.
I think a perfect example of, like, Gardner's connection to the St. Louis media world when we went to Eric Messersmith's going away party this past weekend at Tawny. And
Would you look out for a big project with Tawny?
but when I was there, it was literally a multitude of media members in St. Louis Gardner has worked with over the many years that were coming up to him, still talking to him about things they've done with him in the past. And you're going to say to this individual that he doesn't deserve a credential? That's sort of silly and petty to me. But again, just have to respect the decision. And like Gardner just mentioned, he lives. This is where he lives. This is where he makes his money.
Yeah.
Question.
I don't
from-
mind doing this dance.
He will dance.
He'll two-step
He'll
with you,
two-step
baby.
your ass to death. That's what he'll do.
From Pat in the comments, will hashtag Cubs Blanche be the M-O capitalized motivator?
Could be. Could be.
That sounds like Pat needs to maybe get an official position within your movement because he's got ideas, and I like them. I like his phrasing.
We do have some Chicago connects.
And you-
Connects by the man of Thatcher.
Thatcher, get that. You do love
Is
a
cute-
heel. You love a heel turn.
You
yeah,
do.
As cute as they like to be at times, now is not the time probably for the Cubs to maybe try that, considering their start to the season. They have the Brewers in a matchup this weekend. So that's probably not the time for them. I need to get them rolling a little bit, actually.
So you're considering it.
The only way it works in this town is that something else, it has to be made popular from 5 years ago. And
Can we get the
everyone's already
Dodgers
done
to do it so in 10 years we'll do it?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
We get the Dodgers to do it. The Cardinals will be like, we came up with this cool idea where we're bringing the players
Oh.
on a cart.
Wait a minute. We're going to podcast it.
Ooh.
That's 2000.
I'm trying to think.
Literally, anyone can do a podcast. Yes, your main broadcaster does one. Anyone can do a podcast. The guy that you hired
now you're-
to do the play-by-play has a pod.
There are levels, though.
Traditional media.
Name one.
What?
Name one conduit that would make us similar to them. Just one that has anything to do with Scoops with Danny Mac that's done copious amounts of work on this exact same show. Just name one, and I'll let you in. Name one.
I'll
Say it.
try and
say his name. You got anything?
Trying to think. Who could that be?
Who could that be?
That's the great Jeff Jones
the
doing the yeoman's work, crushing it. After he was anointed Baseball Rookie Reporter of the Year by Benjamin Hockman on our very show.
Traditional media. That is the funniest statement I've ever heard in my entire life in
very funny.
2019.
Well, and I'm using traditional media as paraphrasing. They were basically saying TV or radio.
Yeah. Again, whenever you show up with a note from KDHX saying that you're now their entire sports department, they're going to rue the day. You'll
Well,
be all up in there.
People are
And I
listening
did
to.
follow up with an email discussing possible stringing, as it's known, for another radio station.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you're grabbing sound or whatever
Yeah.
for another outlet. And I said, well, this is a possibility here, too. What do I need to do to make this happen?
No response.
And I have never heard back. And I
Well,
even
no, you-
followed up on that.
You take it to them. You just say, "Here, it's done. Sign it, please."
So
I don't.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
Look. I get it. I get
think
they
it's
run a
carte
business.
blanche. I think it's
I
carte
think it
blanche.
probably does have a lot to do with that. I think you do have some heat. You are a non-traditional media member.
The open of the show shows your gumshoe capabilities.
That is very true. You have notebook in hand,
Yeah.
and you seem to be intently listening to someone important with the St. Louis Cardinals.
I can use a recording device properly most of the time.
Right.
Most of the time.
And now you've got a fancy new one here from here.
yeah.
From the Midcoast Studios. Check out midcoast.media.
So
And I'm curious.
that's a plus, I think.
We talked about it before when we were even on the radio side, and my joke has always been that the Cardinals are the Ned Flanders of Major League Baseball, and I would really love for them to eventually just break out of that. I understand the base. You know, I know that a good majority of the Cardinal fan base come from rural parts of the Midwest. So you want to kind of lean towards maybe the conservative side. But even those rural parts, they are listening to podcasts. They are accepting the new form
Yeah,
of
Ben
media.
Shapiro.
So it just exactly. But so it would make sense that this organization would begin to evolve, and it's just the slow pace in which it goes about it is just frustrating because, again, I know you're paraphrasing saying traditional media, but we know people are listening to less radio. We know TV ratings for Major League Baseball has declined over the last couple of years. So
Have they?
they have actually. So
Big
In
Bird.
this market?
Big Bird.
do your
told me.
research.
In this market,
Well, that was close. He almost cornered me,
Good.
but I was
Well,
like, I got to hurry up and get
I
this
think
do
he
your
might have
research.
just slammed you back into the corner.
Say, what's that now?
in this market,
In Major League Baseball, I said Major League Baseball, so it means other markets as well. So knowing that other, and then again knowing that Major League Baseball is
Thanks
making
for
more.
explaining that.
No problem.
that
That's what
was
I
good.
tried. I
That
did
was
that.
good.
I tried. I'm learning from you guys. See, you guys have taken on. We've done a face off.
Oh, have
where
we?
you guys are becoming me, and I'm trying to become more you.
Oh boy.
So we are trading places. Do not put on blackface like Dan Aykroyd, though. Do not. No.
But
do
you just
not.
said trading
No,
places.
that was okay. That was
What am I
perhaps
supposed to
that
do?
was a bad
Not
example.
do that?
Gardner, just edit that out.
I can't.
Ah,
This is a
dude.
live stream.
Nikes.
From the Black Sheep, traditional media equals no load management jokes at 8:05 a.m. Gotta solemnly agree with that. But you know what? Cato Kalin will be here next hour. What's up with that? Lou Ferrigno was in
Boom.
here yesterday.
Boom. Double booms. I just hit you with the boom boom.
You want some traditional media?
I do.
How about fair or foul? Ever heard of that? Let me tell you something. Every traditional media outlet for the last 17 years has used a version of fair or foul. So it doesn't get much more traditional than that.
Not even outlet, individual shows
Correct.
on those outlets create their own
Their
version.
own
Yes.
within that. And then there's the producer's offshoot show where they kind of just do that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So that pretty traditional at this point.
Speaking of fair or foul. Oh, no camera over there?
What camera are you looking
Oh,
at?
sorry. I was like, we made some studio changes. I didn't know if you had
Oh.
one. I was going to camera 7.
Oh, we got 7 cameras?
7? We had 4 last I heard.
So, well, do your research.
I obviously didn't.
That's right.
I don't know if anyone
I
has
like
in
to.
this room.
I like to.
Actually, I think that's what I've gathered. No one has done their research in this room.
I like to keep you on your toes on the amount of cameras we have in the room, so you always are honest.
You should just start doing that, pointing in random direction. Camera 10. Please.
Oh, that's just, and then I'll say, oh, my
What
bad.
the-
That's just the covert security one. Oh, did I say that? Yeah. Fair or foul today. What's going on with this? I don't really care for it, but go ahead.
All right. Well, here's your fair foul. A little picture for you. Cringe.
Why? Saucy
Cringe?
sauce?
Saucy sauce.
Is this one of those April Fool's brands things?
No, it is
they-
not.
Did
They-
Travis write the tagline for this?
Here's what I love about this. Here's what I love about this because
I'll accept Tabasco in some ranch. I don't need sugar water with red dye in my ranch, though.
here's the thing, and this is like I dated a marketing major in college, and she kind of explained to
What
me
was his
how
name?
these rooms work and how they develop these kind of ideas. Like there had to have been, no joke, at least 12 people in a room coming up with this. Not only the name, by the way, which went to everyone that's an executive at Heinz. The design went to every executive at Heinz. And people sat in a room, 12 folks, all in agreement that this was going to be the new rollout for Cranch. Saucy sauce. Someone said, hold on, Chris.
I think they're
Sauce may be fine. But how about saucy sauce?
He did it finally.
That's
this is why
it,
he's the
guys.
best
That's
punch-up
it.
man in
This
the
is it.
business.
This is it, Steve. Send it up to the CEO. We're good. Saucy sauce.
So that's your fair or foul topic. You win $10 at Southtown Pub. As far as I know, they do not have Cranch available at Southtown Pub.
Cranch, a ketchup ranch hybrid condiment.
How long before that's in arenas and baseball parks across the country? Will it happen by this summer?
That's probably already on its way to Bush.
That has to be, right?
And that in condiment fusion specifics and leadership, the Midwest and the Cardinals are.
So what do
we
you
should just take you to a ball game if you're done protesting.
Mm.
We can go
Right.
from each concession stand, and you can just go up there. Hey, you got Cranch?
Yeah.
See how the responses go.
And they maybe infuse a little race into it. Be like, I bet if I wanted mayonnaise, you'd have that.
Ooh, good one, Chris. He's learning. Now the folks at Heinz.
Kale.
The foremost pinpointer of
Matchup.
racial tension, Chris Denman.
Chris
everybody.
Stedman. Hey, look, and then Heinz Field, where the Pittsburgh Steelers play, you would imagine they're going to have those big tubs with Cranch, right?
I thought I destroyed it.
No, nice try, Bane. You did not.
Ah, there's video evidence.
Sorry, man. They built that joint back up.
I
It's
live
good.
there now because it's in the darkness.
No, it's not. There are lights. There are stadiums.
What if I call you darkness?
Well, that would be racist, and Bane, you really shouldn't be racist.
I apologize.
Thank you. That's the nicest Bane I've ever met.
Curveball.
I didn't see that coming. Bane, would you like to join us for lunch later?
Do you like trap music?
I love trap music.
It is most enjoyable.
It is a outstanding genre. I love it a lot. Who's your favorite?
Trizzy Trappy.
Who? Can you say that again?
Bow before me.
I think you're breaking up there, Bane. Can you name a trap artist?
Hang on, I've got my phone.
Oh.
Check my playlist.
Okay. It's going to be interesting. I didn't know Bane had a playlist.
Migos are my favorite.
They're the Migos, is what the kids call them, Bane, but okay.
Do not correct me.
I apologize, Bane. I didn't want to go that far. By the way,
Did you see what I did to the stadium?
I saw in the movie what you did to the
It
stadium.
was a documentary, you fool.
Oh. Can I ask you a question? Do you have a little daughter named Maneuver?
Keep my name out your mouth, kid.
I knew it, Bane. I knew it. I should have known. Maneuver's dad was Bane the entire time. Of course.
The jersey's a little small on you today, bitch.
Oh, listen, Maneuver, why your ass ain't in school?
With that fake ass gold Cardinals on it.
It-
Nobody, you ain't fooling nobody.
This is
Where you-
authentic.
What flea market you get that at?
I didn't get it. It was a birthday
It
gift.
said yada yada Molona.
Oh, no, it doesn't. It says Molina on the bag.
Can't even spell right, little bitch.
Why I gotta be all that, Maneuver? Maneuver, we're getting off the rundown again. All right. We got to get back to the rundown.
From the Facebook comments, Cranch is actually the official beverage of Jefferson County. Jake, looks like the Cardinals aren't the only ones with ugly new powder blues. That's from.
Oh.
Yeah, I like the fair foul topic. Email WAL at weareliveradio.com.
What are you using that on? Is it? I feel like the only thing you use Cranch on is chicken fingers. What else are you going to use Cranch for?
Yeah.
Use it on your fries.
Fries and chicken fingers. Is that all we got? If you're going to make a saucy sauce.
Anything that you bring in here for lunch on a daily basis could pair well with Cranch,
That's
I'm
a good
sure.
point. He's got a point there.
Yeah.
Are you putting Cranch on your salad?
No.
Okay.
We have a question from earlier, and despite it being on Facebook, there's still a texter name attached to it. Would scrambled Cinemax softcore porn movies be considered a traditional form of media for folks before the internet?
That's
I
a
would
good
think
point.
so.
Janet
I would
Rito's
say
Scooter.
that counts as traditional
Absolutely,
media.
yes.
So
Okay.
if an adult film company had came to the Cardinals press people, and they probably would have been credentialed.
Mm-hmm.
They are a traditional form of media.
So email
Back in
those
the
in.
day.
Yeah.
Wall
It
at
evolves.
weareliveradio.com.
evolves.
Yeah.
We did have a melee, and I forgot to put it up initially, but I just put it up right now.
Okay.
Nice. What you got?
Which of these 4 reports is your favorite? The Mueller report, Minority Report, the Colbert Report,
Michael Palasek, guest yesterday, has been on the Colbert
Or-
late night show.
Weather Report, which is the band.
the band?
Weather Report.
This is a very meta poll.
You
like
know
this
who
poll.
Weather Report is. You've heard their
I've heard
music
of. There's like a they're like a fancy jazz band,
Are they-
right?
Yes.
Are they cousins of the Dead Weather?
They did Birdland. They did a little.
Give us a little Birdland. Give us a little Birdland.
Birdland?
Yeah, give us a little bit.
Do you want like Modest Mouth kind of Birdland?
I'd be down for that. Ah, that's Weatherport.
We're down to 0 viewers. Rats. -3 viewers.
Nice.
There you go.
Pretty good.
Birdland,
That
little
was pretty
Birdland.
good. That was good. So that is your melee today.
At We Are Live Radio on Twitter. Be sure to check that out. If you missed the show yesterday, we had our friend Lou Ferrigno in. How did you like that? That was really a very
I showed my mom.
concise interview. It was
I
great.
showed my mom the photo we took with Lou Ferrigno, and she said the exact same thing I said on when he showed up on set. You look great. Like, and not, we always knew that the guy was in great shape, but I'm talking
67
about
years old.
Exactly. That's what she was like. Wait, Lou looks really good, and he did. He couldn't have been nicer. It was just what a sweetheart. And then my sister was telling me that I guess he was just around downtown yesterday, and kids were just. He took the time to take pictures with
Oh,
kids.
really? That's
Yes,
cool.
and he was just a sweetheart. And I root for people like that, because a guy that when you are so much a part of pop culture, it's very easy for you to get jaded, because
and
every
he
time
could
you
have came in here and be like, "I'm here to talk about my new supplement. Do not say
Right.
the word Hulk one time."
Right. Yes, but and I will say we've had the pleasure of talking with comedians and actors who have been known for a particular role, and they have embraced it. In the back of my head, maybe because I project a lot, but I'm thinking, man, I would be over that. I wouldn't want to talk about it for the 9 millionth time. But these folks like Lou Ferrigno are more than happy to come in and talk about something that was very important to their life, because it was important to a lot of other people's lives. So to have him come in to be as cool as he was, that was really neat. It was the freaking Hulk on We Are Live.
I
It
was-
was pretty amazing. And we
was-
do have a comment, and I need to say it real quick, Gardner. Can't say he looks great. I hear they fire media personalities for that around here. That's from the Triangle Assassin. Shot at National Public Radio. Mr. Don Marsh. NPR denies that. Gardner, you were saying.
What was I saying? Oh, I got a few photos from yesterday I wanted to show you guys.
Okay, what do we have here?
Number one, Lou has big hands. As you could see him
Okay.
there with Chris.
Seriously, that was hilarious, because he even said it on the show. He's like, "You've got big hands over there." I was like, "I need to see these up close and personal." He's got some meat hooks on him. Look at that. Look, it doesn't really show it with my hand. The right hand with the thumbs up, you kind of see he could crush a boulder with one hand, right?
What's he looking at in that photo?
The publicist to get him the hell out of our office.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, okay.
I was encroaching on his personal space
Yeah,
at
he
this
was.
point.
That was
What's
enough.
going on there? And Travis just fanboyed out.
Did I? I don't think. Oh,
Look at
boy.
this still photo here.
Look at my face.
As Lou's talking, look at the face.
Look at my
Travis was
face.
making.
Just look at the glee. That is just.
Uh-huh.
I
Mr.
was.
Hulk? Uh-huh.
It was the freaking.
And how's a
Hulk, man.
67-year-old man going to look more physically attractive than two people half his age?
Right.
Just look at Travis's face. Look at the eyes. You can.
But
see
look
the
at his
sparkle.
hands. But look at his hands, and then look, compare it to my face. He would have mushed the hell out of me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
And,
yeah,
he had a very serious conversation with Gardner about his scootering habits and his lack of physical mobility, correct?
He did.
He pulled you aside.
And this is first off what led to it.
He took a scooter to a pizza buffet 2 days ago that was
I
2
dined
blocks
him out.
away. And it really upset me because I love him and I want him to be here. And even though I'm on a fitness, let's get back to skinny here, get working on that.
Sure.
I'm worried about him. Can you give him some kind of motivation? I mean, he took a scooter to a pizza buffet, Lou.
Let me tell you something. You said the word scooter. 3 weeks ago, my son, scooter, the chain came up. I figured I'd go for a little kiddie ride around the block. I made a turn, small wheel.
Yeah.
I fell on the street. I messed up my arm and
This
I
is
fractured my
recently?
rib.
Oh my goodness.
And I'll never take ride a scooter,
Whoa.
or walk near a scooter the rest of my life. But now you need to walk instead of taking a scooter.
I guess I could.
Are you going to look Lou Ferrigno in the eye?
I guess I could walk 2 blocks.
The Hulk told you to walk.
Yeah.
He
And not only
quit,
thing-
quit,
not
hulk, quit hulking on that pizza, bro.
Not only that, not a lot of things defeated the Hulk. Apparently, a scooter did.
Yeah.
Maybe that was Thanos' plan the entire time. Thanos was like, "Oh, I got your ass."
Um,
Scooter Hulk.
From our guy JC
So we'll see.
in the comments, the picture Chris Denman took with him made it look like Lou was there as an advocate for the Special Olympics.
They got their funding back. So.
Thank
TT
God.
pulling a sad rhino. Fanboying out.
I did.
Did
Like,
you
I
say?
haven't-
Did
I
you
was-
say? Do you ever think about Hulk and stuff?
Like when you hulked up,
I was waiting for that.
was it cool?
Yeah.
I was waiting for that question because
I
I
was-
was sitting here watching the different cameras, and I was smirking watching you in one particular.
It was fantastic.
The only time I make that face is when the waitress brings out an extra large Emo's pizza
with,
I was look-
with a side of cranch.
with the side of crunch. In fact, maybe I can get Emo's to actually use that as the sauce
Got it.
when they make my pizza next time.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that you will do the same thing with Mr. Kalen when he comes in today?
I'm excited to meet Kato. We've been talking about this for a couple of months now, Gardner and I, that we're coming upon the 25th anniversary of OJ, and I'm excited to get him in here because we had our good friend Giamatti in here a couple of days ago, and when we first started radio, we would be on at night, and it would frequently interrupt the People versus OJ on FX. And so what Giamatti and I would do after our show, because I would stay late to edit and post our podcast, we would watch the People versus OJ, and I fell in love with that show, and it really brought back a ton of memories. So I'm excited to discuss the show, the actual event, and how it's transformed his life. Here's another person who's been a part of the fabric of American pop culture for well over 25 years, and how does one live a life knowing that there's been a movie and now a documentary about a moment in your life, and
Very peculiar thing, too, that will not go away.
we discussed it a little bit off air. Gardner and I, we were just trying to determine, was he the very first or one of the first reality stars from television? Like we talked about Puck from Real World on MTV, but Kato was kind of that media
You could
creation.
smell Puck through the
You really
through
could.
the TV.
But he was, I think with Puck, he was the first person to properly utilize reality TV to create his own personal
Kinda
stardom.
took
where
a pro wrestling approach.
Right.
yeah.
And whereas Kato was a person that, had no
It
problem.
was an oddity that he was involved in this very weird
yes.
thing.
And yes, he was the cherry on top of a very already bizarre situation. So I'm excited to get him in here to not only talk about that, but he's also a big Brewers fan as well. And the Brewers are playing some of the best baseball in all the league, and of course a major rival of the St. Louis Cardinals. So we're going to have a lot to talk about today.
And I'd like to play, since you mentioned it, the People v. O.J. Simpson.
Oh, yeah?
My favorite line from the show.
Oh, boy.
I was able to find it here real quick.
Okay.
Here you go.
I know what you're up to.
You want to tell me, or am I supposed to guess?
Who tipped the sheriff off about 620 and 462?
Hell if I know, but I'll take it.
You had something to gain.
Back alley stuff isn't my game. It's yours. You're always talking about the truth. Well, the truth came out. Toughen up, Cochran. This is a smoker's lounge. Daycare's on the first floor.
Yeah.
This is the smokers lounge.
Now, everything in this world, especially
go,
in this
Marcia.
country, everything comes to full circle, right? So that, of course, was from the People versus OJ. We're going to have Kato Kalin in. Of course, Marsha Clark's right hand during that trial was none other than Christopher Darden. Christopher Darden, of course, played by St. Louis's own Sterling K. Brown in the People versus OJ. Well, Christopher Darden back in the news again. He's now the defense attorney for one Eric Holder, no, not the attorney general, the suspect accused of murdering rapper Nipsey Hussle. So Christopher Darden is representing the man who shot down a huge hip hop icon. So Chris Darden has
At least they have a freaking suspect.
That is very true. That is very true. And that's a whole nother subject. But Chris Darden, you are not invited to the picnic.
Why?
Chris Darden,
You should appreciate his
See, this
approach
is what
to justice.
this is what people did to him back then.
Yes, and we're going to do it again.
Was that proper back then?
Yes.
Honestly,
Yes.
that seems ridiculous.
Because Chris Darden, we have to remember what he said in.
Gardner.
No, we have to remember what he said in court. Chris Darden Chris Darden, who investigated the LAPD when he worked in the district attorney's office. So he knows the level of corruption that has existed because he actually investigated. For him to then, in that trial, say that race should not play a part was asinine. You literally investigated cases where race was a reason. So how do you turn around and suggest in the biggest trial in the world with the LAPD, with a racist detective that you have investigated yourself, to then say that race is not involved? He literally, he was the one who warned Marsha Clark about Mark Furman.
Yeah.
Because he investigated. He knew those tapes existed. So then
Well,
how do you get in front of a judge?
I think he knew that race wasn't the biggest motivating factor in that case.
Maybe the two
It
dead bodies.
became part of it.
Yes.
That more than anything, it was social status. That was
And he teed it up, but he also teed it up for Johnny Cochran too. That was a fatal mistake for the prosecution because that gave Johnny the room to, oh, you telling me it's not about race? And Johnny Cochran, being
Guess
the great
what?
litigator
I
he
can
was,
rhyme.
he can. And that's another thing. If you're going to be an attorney in this country, better learn how to rap.
We were discussing yesterday. This was yesterday afternoon. You and I were sitting in here.
Mm-hmm.
How I think just from what came from that trial and everything surrounding it is our pop culture today.
True.
Like, to me,
It
it's
is.
the most significant pop culture event probably
Of
at
our-
that point since Woodstock, since '69.
I'm willing to agree.
Wall coming down.
No. Nope.
We're talking about strictly
because-
pop culture and how it.
because what
Strictly
has-
pop culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, pop culture, what was birthed from that? You
Yes.
had a Kardashian lawyer.
Yep.
You had the celebrity athlete
Yep.
and O.J. Simpson. You had victims that were, were attractive people.
Attractive
a blonde
people.
white woman. We know how that goes.
Good-looking
especially-
server. You had the
Yeah.
whole, you had everything, and then so
You
what?
had you had Los Angeles.
Had
you
Los
had
Angeles.
that kind of
yeah.
lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
You had that involved. Not only that, you had Harvey Levin
Yep.
at Court TV, which would go on to become, of course, Harvey Levin of TMZ. You had
Right.
Greta Van Susteren on Court TV.
Right.
That kind of launched her career
Right.
into what she would become. And
Right.
I'm blanking on the other guy who was like the ESPN legal correspondent for so many years.
Right.
Roger
Cossack.
Yeah,
Roger
Roger Cossack.
Cossack. So like it launched careers. You saw that.
Jeffrey
also had-
Toobin.
You saw
Jeffrey
what,
Toobin.
You saw what round
Marcus
20
Allen was involved. Another one.
Yeah.
I'm seeing
Yes.
pull another one in. Yeah. Yeah.
24-hour
Inserted, I should say.
people started realizing, 24-hour news coverage on one topic, it actually
Yeah.
could work. And so, and there's so many other, I'm forgetting some other things.
But it was such theater of the
it-
absurd that this is a perfect concoction of
Right.
Right.
But
insanity.
it led to, it was the start of what we have become now in
Yes.
terms of pop culture.
No doubt about it.
There's
No doubt
so
about it.
many like
No doubt about
branches
it.
to take
Yes.
and so many routes that it's just like, man, there's a connection to that trial with everything if
But
you
then,
want.
would you say if he was sent to prison for murder? I know I realize the civil suit, all that stuff. Do you think it would have been as insane of a blow up had he been sentenced to prison for those murders. Because I think him getting off threw jet fuel on an already burning fire.
I think
Don't
at
you
that
think?
point, I think
Just because it's more controversial.
certainly.
Yeah, because there is. I mean, there is.
Because
It
if he
was
just went
race
to
in
pri-
America. It was
Yeah.
big.
If he just went to prison,
The thing I've said is, unfortunately, the crime gets overlooked a lot, and it's because of everything that came from that trial. The
Right,
crime gets
right.
overlooked a lot.
Yeah.
Because there was multiple meanings to different people from whatever your perspective might be from that trial.
Right.
I mean, it was race, it was socioeconomics, it was the celebrity,
Right.
it was all of that packaged into one. That's the genesis of what we are now, pop culture wise. That trial, those killings,
Right.
those involved.
Right.
That's now.
That
came from
absolutely
there.
gave
We're
birth
25
to
years
modern
later.
media.
Yes.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it in my
That's
mind.
what we've become.
Completely
It
agree.
all came from
We're talking.
that.
We're talking about the chase. We're talking about
that's
the
another thing.
wall-to-wall
Car
coverage.
chases.
Car chase. We're talking about, and not only that, the car chase interrupting a major sporting event.
Yeah.
For a big broadcast network. Like we're talking about, man, the characters that were
NBA
involved. And
finals
you're right.
were going on, right?
The
When
NBA
it was
finals, we're in the
happening.
heart of the
Yeah.
NBA. We're talking Bob Costas jumping up in the middle of a game, telling folks, "Hey, we're gonna keep the game on, but in the lower part of your screen, we're gonna show you a police chase." Like it absolutely gave birth to
And
what
that's
we now know
probably,
as modern
it's one
media.
of the better 30 for 30s when they just do
Yes.
that day.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
They-
that day that
There's
yes.
no narration.
None.
It's just the news clips of
Of that
that
whole
day,
day.
of like 5 sporting events that were taking place. Because what else was it? Was it the World
You
Cup?
had the last. Was it the last?
Arnold Palmer's last US Open
You had
round.
Ken Griffey Jr.'s. I think he had 3 home runs against the Royals. I think he just absolutely just.
I don't even know if that's involved though, because you had NBA Finals.
Yeah, NBA final.
You had the World Cup
yes,
kicking off.
that's right.
You had, I believe it was the New York Rangers getting their parade through
That's
New
right.
York.
That's right. They had won the Stanley
You
Cup that year.
had, we had just mentioned one and I forgot. what
Arnold
it was.
Palmer?
It was something else. I can't remember. But maybe Griffey is included in that. But there was like 5 things going on that day. And that was one of the early 30 for 30s, and it was brilliant.
It was very brilliant.
But it's just, I mean, there's so many things involved with all of them.
It literally gave birth to and CNN coupled that
I mean,
with
they
the
were
early,
around.
Right.
They were around.
right, but see,
they didn't know necessarily which direction they were heading.
like CNN.
It gave the 24-hour news cycle, it gave them direction more.
Yes, and I want to say just a year or 2 after that, you gave birth to both Fox News and MSNBC. I want to say they gave birth like around 95, 96. And then you're looking at, of course, you got TMZ, and then CNN, they had just coupled that with their coverage of the Iraq War, which put them into the main spotlight. And now they had the 24-hour news network, so they were able to bring on all these legal experts, and that's when we start seeing the very first
I mean, when
2,
Harvey-
3, 4 people panel shows. And
when Harvey Levin's involved, I mean, how do you not point to that and say, yes, this was the birth of what our pop culture has become? Because he wasn't doing TMZ at the time.
And what does that say?
It launched him, and then what his business would become.
And then talk about our appetite for that. Because we don't, yes, it did give birth to modern media, but
I mean,
what did
because-
it say about our appetite? Because while I was
We're
happy to watch
acknowledging the horrificness of it while craving more.
because we were watching the NBA Finals at the same time, we were more than happy to have NBC to have that little camera shot in the lower frame of our
And
TV.
what almost happened during that, too, is incredible. What almost happened during that chase, when I worked on the writer's block.
Right.
With Benjamin Hockman, Ben Fredrickson, and Derek Gould. We had Bob Costas on twice, I think, on that show.
So your first show was with Bob.
Yes. He was the first guest of the show. He had talked about what was going on that day while they were broadcasting the game. He would find out later through channels that OJ had ties to NBC, obviously.
Oh, yes, I remember this story.
That OJ tried to call the control room. He called the control room of NBC where they're running the game from, saying he wanted to talk to Bob Costas. Like, they almost were that close to putting
OJ live on air.
on the air while the NBA Finals are going on.
Can
and
you
this car
imagine
chase
the
is going
spectacle
on.
of that?
But whoever's answering the phone is like,
No
whatever,
way
mate.
this is
Yeah,
OJ.
you're not
Right, you're
calling
not
here.
OJ.
But that actually happened. Like, I mean, just imagine what that would have been then.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, there was so much involved that we found out what our appetites were.
Right.
Right or wrong.
We did.
Right or
we
wrong.
We did. You're right.
And I'm not saying they're right.
No, but that's
we've taken a dive now into what how it began, how quick we can react to things. And I mean, to have all this, what you have to have, I think, an element as well is, where were you, what were you doing moments.
Right.
The verdict became that for this whole spectacle.
Absolutely.
You have to have that, I think, and to make it one of those pop culture events.
We're very much responsible for modern media, like in the sense that
we're complicit.
We're absolutely complicit because, again,
you can dislike it and all this, but
yes.
You have to if you want to fix anything, that's if you want to fix anything, you have to acknowledge complicity.
There it is. And again, we can sit up here and we can bash CNN, Fox News, NBC all we want, but their numbers are their numbers for a reason. There's a reason why Fox News, why Rupert Murdoch.
If you hate the president, you have to acknowledge society's complicit.
Oh, no doubt.
That,
oh, no doubt.
That.
There is no doubt. And
I think that's part of why there's such a hatred there, is because you don't like looking in the mirror and realizing
seeing that you kind of were partly responsible for being
not completely,
but
right.
Orange on my forehead.
But it is fast. It is like just looking back at those moments. We talk about 25 years. We're talking about 25 years of Kurt Cobain. Talk about another seminal moment in pop culture history. Him committing suicide and the impact on him dying and what that has done for the music industry. Like Kurt Cobain, like the fallout from his suicide and how we don't have
shaped
certain
generation.
It really did. It shaped an entire generation.
I did not realize today was the 25th anniversary until I saw something on Twitter. And it was at that point I realized, my girlfriend's not going to be in a good mood.
She's a huge Cobain fan.
Loves
huge
Cobain.
A lot of people are. This is going to be a tough day for a lot of people.
Is she'll find a documentary
and just
she'll
go on a
end
deep
up
dive.
watching it, and you already know what the music is. You already know what the person is. You know the conclusion, but it will make you revisit those memories and revisit those feelings. So I know what my day is going to be like a little later.
And in those moments, they all happen like Kurt Cobain blowing up to be. He came in like a sledgehammer. Well, I didn't. Come on now. Anyway. No one would have thought of that if you didn't say it. Jesus, man. Come on. Yeah. The fact is, he jumped on the scene and left almost as quickly as he arrived. And that's kind of sort of like OJ. Like that whole situation happened so fast and so visceral that the fallout today, it's amazing to look around and see the impact. Again, Cobain, like he shaped an entire genre. Like, we don't have certain artists if it wasn't for you. Mm-hmm. So it's just fascinating to look back now. 25 years, that's amazing. That the early 90s really set the stage for what we have now.
Absolutely insane.
It's crazy.
I do need to tell you guys about some great support we received from Tommy Bannister. He is your realtor right here in St. Louis. You need to make sure you go through Circa Properties, Tommy Bannister, when it's time to buy or sell your home. Support him. You know why, Trev? Because he supports us. That's right. St. Louis, born and bred. He is here to help you. He's got amazing customer service skills. He will walk you through the entire process, and you'll have a lot of fun along the way. It's about to be home buying and selling season. We're in the middle of it, people. Get a hold of Tommy Bannister, Circa Properties. You can find him on Facebook or online. DM us. We'll put you in touch with Tommy personally if you need assistance in the realtor department. That's Tommy Bannister at Circa Properties.
Chris, it is opening day, and because it's opening day, there are a couple things that I would like us to address. First off, it is indeed Mike Shannon season. Mike Shannon, the amazing, beautiful broadcaster on the radio side for the St. Louis Cardinals. An icon. I would almost bet that at least that 70 or one of the highways in St. Louis will probably be named after him.
Bet.
Yeah?
Bet.
And, of course, we have the drop from a year ago of Mike Shannon doing a live read. Now, Chris does several live reads on this show. He does an amazing job. But I don't know if he can ever match what Mike Shannon did for his live read during the Cardinals
I'll never
broadcast.
hit that live read level.
This one right here?
Well, you won't hear this very often, at least on the air. Here's a delivery just a little low. Yes, sir. If you go to ExploreStLouis.com, they're going to tell you about a blowjob. That's right. Artisan will appreciate the local handmade works of art at the Third Degree Glass Factory. View glass blowing demonstrated, or create, shop, and entertain in their unique event space. That's right. Find more of one-of-a-kind attractions at ExploreSt.Louis.com. Says right there. Give them a try. Give them a try.
In that
That's
moment,
a producer going.
They're going to tell you about a job.
in that moment when the final thing he says at the end there, it says right there,
right there.
I never related more to anyone more in my life than in that moment, because I would have said the exact same thing. Hey, don't be mad at me, player. I'm reading what it says. It says blowjob. You see it.
It didn't say blowjob.
It
on
did.
tape.
No, it did, Mike. It did not. It did not. Nevertheless,
Certainly did.
the iconic Mike Shannon back on the airwaves today. I'm very
Oh, boy. This is embarrassing, isn't it, John?
He's a legend, man.
Oh,
He's
boy.
just-
Maybe we'll get someone to run on the field today.
oh, that'd be cool.
Oh, do a little belly slide in the wet grass.
They just got him with a stun gun.
Wow. That laser worked good.
It did.
Woo-wee. I mean, he put a laser on him, man. He went down like a sack of onion.
He did.
Now, again, another moment in which I related with Mike Shannon,
Genius.
because it's not sack of onions, but that's what I would have
It's
said.
amazing.
It's sack of potatoes, but I would have been, oh, yeah, man, went down like a sack of oranges.
I like how that's where you're focusing, though,
Yes.
considering it's a laser, he called this thing.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
good.
wasn't-
The
that's-
laser.
That's old man
That
stuff.
laser
I can't
gets
trip
you.
off that. But does that still beat when the cat was on the field?
And a raccoon is out on the...
Nope.
Or it's a kitty cat.
It's a kitty cat.
And then he followed it up with a,
What was it?
here, kitty, kitty,
Here.
kitty, kitty.
It's a kitty cat.
Mike, you're in a booth 700 feet away on a microphone.
Can I take a minute to chastise the feral cat rescue that refused the publicity?
Man, you got to leave them people alone,
major
man. We know. They
You
gotta
have-
leave-
Major
talk
League
about
Baseball.
agendas.
I'll
You do have
never-
an agenda, man. You
I'll
plan
never
on
let
taking
that
them
go.
cannot let it
You
go.
I'll
can't
never
let it go,
that
man.
Do you know how many stupid feral cats you could
You
have
just
saved?
hate cats. Just
Why
say you
do you
hate
hate
cats.
stupid
Hey,
feral cats?
instead
I
of-
have feral
instead-
cats.
Yeah, he does.
Instead of you guys wasting all your time, money, resources on these cats that don't want homes, why don't you just send a couple dogs out, clean them up, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. There you
my
go.
God.
Now, the anti-cat agenda, which
No,
occasionally
the
I'm a part of.
the anti-brain agenda that they carry. What? How do you not get the publicity and the marketing that Cardinals
Maybe
partnership?
it's
got
not
the cat
about
at
that,
home.
man. They
The
got it at
cat's got a
home. That was
home.
most
Give a damn
important.
about that cat?
Damn.
Oh my God! So it is anti-cat.
It
issue.
is
Yeah, it is.
anti. I told you.
I've
He
been
exposed
exposed.
himself.
I've been exposed.
It's not anti-cat. Actually, it is. I
Yeah,
am.
I'll be
I'm
honest. It's
anti-cat.
not anti 51-year-old crazy woman with short hair.
That's
smells
what
like
it
ammonia.
is.
Yeah.
But be-
Travis.
but it is the home opener, so we need to prepare ourselves for our nicknames. We need nicknames for the season.
Yeah, I saw this the other day. It was a gentleman, and I can't remember his name now.
Kyle Matson.
Is that who it was? He was putting out the formula for your I
Major
guess,
League Baseball
old-time
nickname.
Major League Baseball nickname on Twitter. So it's
Some
the
rude,
last
rude ones for Travis if we go back too far.
it's the last thing you bought
Not allowed.
plus your fourth grade teacher's last name.
Sorry, the last thing you purchased?
Yes.
Okay.
At one point, I was Cigarette Daniels. Ooh. And actually today,
What would you be today? Oh boy, please God, please don't let it be. Please don't let it be anything that will.
today I would
Butt
be,
plug McGrew.
well, I got some coffee, but I wouldn't be Coffee Daniels because I forgot that I didn't turn something off right away, so I'd be Lime Scooter Daniels.
Oh no!
That's sweet.
I had a
That's
Lime
great.
Scooter
Lime
at the
Scooter
coffee
Daniels.
shop this morning.
Yeah.
Or no, I guess I'd be Uber Daniels.
There you go.
Oh, that's good.
Mine would be Gas Seppi.
Giuseppe.
Yes, it sounds like Giuseppe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
That's
So
true.
my nickname would be.
Giuseppe.
Hey, there comes Gas Seppi in from the bullpen.
Boy, the Moors hit that section of Italy hard. Historical on that ass.
Jeez, so what would yours be?
I don't coffee. I bought a bag of coffee. I'm trying to think. Gas. I don't really. I don't buy things.
What was your teacher's name?
really? Oh, Vivrette.
Vivrette. So you'd be
Let's go with. I'm trying to think. Yeah, we'll just coffee Vivrette.
Coffee Vivrette. Nice.
It's tough for you to say.
Coffee Vivrette.
Yeah,
We'll say it. Chris, you say it.
coffee Vivrette.
Travis.
Viverette.
Say coffee Viverette.
Coffee Viverette.
Your lips are doing something weird.
By the way, I'm glad you brought that up because we do not have a sentence of the week.
Oh, this is true.
It's a big day for you.
It's a huge day. What a great week for Travis, right? Met his hero in Lou Ferrigno. About to basically be 3 degrees of separation with Kato Kaelin and OJ. So it's the closest I'll probably ever get to meeting OJ.
Special conversation with Tony Hinchcliffe at noon, too.
That's a thing. So it's a day. It's a week for me. What a week.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So why is there no sentence of the week?
Because I can read and talk now.
Because you only screwed up, from my count, 2 words already this week.
Huh.
Sorry, I'm learning.
I'm thinking I missed some.
Yeah, I think so.
I
would
think
blame
this
that.
is probably Gardner air.
Oh, come on.
Yes, yes.
So I
appreciate that.
apologize. I want to apologize
What?
to listeners for screwing this up because I obviously must have missed something to not have a sentence of the week. There's no way this should have
Do you ever
happened.
worry you've suffered a stroke or you have a learning disability?
I think.
I do twice a day, I think. Probably.
You think I have a
No.
learning disability?
Yeah,
Or you
yeah.
have one?
I think I do.
Well, you went to a Farmington public school, so that's no duh. But I don't
Isn't
think
that
I have
Gold
a,
Star Blue Ribbon?
Come on, man.
Needed to be said.
Just because they painted on the water tower doesn't mean it's true.
I got lead in my veins.
Literally.
Wish I was kidding.
But, you know,
Head injuries and lead poisoning. That's a good combo for a nice personality.
And you know what? Technically, there not being a sentence of the week, I was actually inspired to make sure I had a sound shows this week. Inspired by one person. Can you go to camera 3 really quickly? I just want to say
Is he
something.
going to rant?
No, it's not gonna rant.
They always be yelling.
Oh, here we go. I was honored by one.
You what? You were in honored?
I was honored by JPD, whose birthday is today. Hey, baby girl, how you doing today? You're looking lovely as ever. I'm happy to know that you are celebrating another amazing birthday. It's great seeing you. Hope I get to see you soon. Love, Terrell. Wink.
It's my mother's birthday, and Travis just did a camera 3 rant for her.
Love you, JPD. JPD. JPD.
Called her this morning. She's got a bunch of fun stuff planned for the
What
weekend.
does she got going on? Her and the gals going to the mall?
Pops and grandparents getting some good food ready, doing some dinners, all that good stuff. And I was like, "Hey, how's it going? Happy birthday! What's going on?" And she goes, "Well, I'm kind of old, and I don't know. I got to work today. Go to that place." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Happy birthday!"
By the way,
We'll see
Travis,
you.
I wrote down sound shows for next week. You did stumble over that when you said that.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you guys about a new sponsor. May I?
Body Armor.
No.
They do not sponsor this show. Oops.
thing.
So I'll put this one away then.
Huh. Gardner, are you excited about this? Nope.
Oh, wrong
That's,
one.
we're not
Nope,
cranching.
that's not cranching. Nope, that's not a sponsor either.
We're not cranching. Are you guys are you excited about the new sponsor?
Woo! Getaway cards when you're trying to get away, running from the cops so you forgot to pay. Getaway cards, yeah. Now the official sponsor of Carte Blanche.
Picturing you robbing a bank in one of these.
We will not
The
get
cop,
behind that.
the cop just gallops along as I'm trying to
Yeah.
get away.
It's like, dude, do we really have to do
Come
this?
on, man.
I
Hey,
gotta,
dog.
my kid's got a soccer game.
Come on, man. Like, for real.
Getaway Carts is a local business that specializes in the sales, service, and customization. That you like that line?
I like that.
Customization,
That's
Gardner.
key.
It is. Of golf carts. You name it, they can and have done it. At Getaway Carts, they pride themselves in living up to the tagline and hashtag of hashtag customize without limits. Also hashtag
Nice.
carte blanche. What makes Getaway Carts so unique is the one-on-one service you receive when you purchase or take your cart there for anything. Owners Joe and Fred pride themselves on representing their tagline of customize without limits by letting you pick out everything about your cart. When purchasing through Getaway Carts, you can pick your cart, color, seats, lift, wheels, tires, lights, etc. With over 50 five-star reviews, you can count on GAC to build you the cart of your dreams. Gardner, I am just picturing you cruising through Soulard on one of these bad boys. Or the CWE. Getaway Carts, also the newest and best dealer of the all-new Series EV and Star EV golf carts and LSVs. Call or text 314-650-2951 to set an appointment or email us at info@getawaycarts.com.
Getaway cards, vroom, vroom.
We like doing unique stuff here. We have a golf cart sponsor as part of the carte blanche movement. Congratulations to you, Gardner.
Thank you for making it happen.
Nice.
It's
Dreams,
special.
dreams do come
It's
true.
special.
No, they're a great local business. Very excited about that. We worked with them for Mardi Gras, and it worked out to where they jumped on board. We're going to shoot some video, maybe even do a little Trav-U of the golf carts. What do you think, Trav?
I tell you what, I'm ready to take the Tri-View on the
the
Stan
road.
Musial Bridge.
On the path. On the path. Yes, exactly. That'll do it for the first hour. Big thanks to Tech Electronics again for the wonderful studio we have here today. Travis, Gardner, we're going to break and then come back on the other side with Cato Kalen at 9:30. And also special conversation with Tony Hinchcliffe today at noon if you want to tune back in. Happy opening day, everybody. We'll take a quick break. Be right back.
Go America!